Hi friends, I'm recording this series of videos for people who are aspiring to become SAP SD consultants and who want to gain some knowledge into sales and distribution. Yeah, I understand that you might have taken up certain courses from institutes or SAP authorized institutes, or maybe some of them would also be certified. Yeah, but I would be uh, focusing on particular topics which most of the people have issues understanding or people are not aware of certain concepts of business processes and how that have to be configured in SAP. So I'll be concentrating only on those areas. In case I receive require, in case people come to me asking for some specific topic, I could go ahead and record a video on that topic as well. So I need your inputs as well for the recordings that I'll be uploading. And I want it to be an interactive one so that you could respond to me by writing comments on the video. So this particular video is an introductory video about SAP sales and distribution. In this video, I'm just trying to explain what SAP is, how it evolved, and what exactly is the implementation procedure, and yes, some of the basic things that I'll be telling you in this video. So firstly, before entering into SAP, if you are a fresher, if you are a person who has worked into sales and you want to enter into sales, SAP sales and distribution and complete your certification or do a training in the SAP, you need to know what ERP is. ERP is an acronym for Enterprise Resource Planning. So ERPs, there are many ERP softwares available in the market, which are being used by many companies. So one of the widely known and popular ERP system is SAP. So SAP ERP very is a very popular ERP system used across the globe. There are other ERP solution providers as well, like Oracle, JD Edwards, PeopleSoft, etc. Apart from this, you would find thousands of local vendors who provide uh, local ERP softwares, which could be used in your uh, company so as to manage and run your business successfully. So ERP has been one of the most successful, SAP has been one of the most successful ERP software, which is being used across many businesses and Fortune 500 and Fortune 1000 companies. Most of the Fortune 500 companies and Fortune 1000 companies would have SAP implemented. So what is the requirement of an enterprise resource planning software? Basically, an ERP software or an SAP ERP is required in cases when you have a huge business. It's not only in case of huge businesses, even small businesses could implement SAP. Um, the cost involved in implementing SAP is too high, and hence we observe that big companies, multinational companies, go for SAP. If there are small companies, they can even opt for SAP, or else they usually opt for some local softwares which they use, which is economical to them and which satisfies their requirements. So SAP, the need of ERP emerged when company wanted to have the transactions in their business to be recorded, the daily transactions in the business to be recorded in a software, and to reproduce the recorded data in the form of reports, which is a very important requirement. So reproducing the data that is being stored daily in the form of reports so that management could take important business decisions regarding this business is an important milestone that SAP or any ERP software performs. If that is not performed, the ERP is of no use. So usually ERPs record the data, the daily transactions going on in the business, and also reproduce the reports using the data recorded, so that the senior managers or the company's management, directors, and the key people could take decisions for the profit of their organization. Let's take an example of a company which manufactures a product ABC. So what does a company do? If it manufactures something, it will need raw material. It would need require a production plan using which it will create a finished product. So in order to run the cycle, and finally the finished product needs to be sold. So the whole process requires a company to have certain departments which could take care of different aspects for the business to be running successfully. So in order to have the business run successfully, like procure raw materials, convert the raw materials into finished products using production, using machines, labor, etc., and then sell the finished products manufactured by a company so that you earn money for what you have manufactured. So in order to carry out this cycle, in order to process this cycle, a company usually has these departments for it, so that these departments could manage the company's business. Each department, as the name suggests, each department has a particular function which they perform for the company. So there's a finance department, there's a production department, there's a sales department, there's a purchasing department, there's a HR department. Finance department takes care of noting of takes care of all the financial activities of the company. Production department is responsible for producing the material using the raw materials. Sales department is responsible for taking the manufactured the final product from the production team and selling it to the customers and generating revenue for the company. Purchasing department is responsible for procuring the raw materials from vendor at the least price possible so that the company is in a win-win situation and the company earns a huge profit for having a talent pool of employees who or laborers who could work for your company for converting the raw material into the finished product. So HR department is responsible for all the human resource related activities. So a company is held by these pillars. Any particular company, if you talk about, is standing on these important pillars. SAP ERP system has all these applications. So for finance, it has FI and CO. For production, it has PP. For sales, it has SD, which is sales and distribution. For purchasing, it has MM, which is material management. And for HR, it has HRM. So SAP ERP is comprised of applications that serve each important pillars of the company, and they serve in such a manner that each one is integrated or interrelated with the other. Okay, so there is a point of contact between each of these pillars. Okay, without coordination of these pillars, your company cannot work. So SAP has that important parameter or characteristics which helps integrate each of these important pillars and coordinate amongst them in such a way that it will help blossom your business. So what SAP exactly does is that all the transactions that happen in finance are recorded under the finance application. All the transactions that happen under production are recorded under the PP application. It's production planning application of SAP. All the transactions that happen for your business under sales would be recorded into the sales and distribution application of the SAP ERP. And similarly with MM and HR. Okay. So the transactions that happen across each of these pillars, each of these departments are recorded under each of the applications by the respective employees who work in that particular department. So the daily transactions, even if it's a small transaction, that has to go through the SAP ERP. So what happens in this case is that the company comes and tells you that they want SAP to be implemented in in their company, and they have, this is the company's structure. Like they have a finance department, they have a production department, and they manufacture a product and sell it to the customer. So they also have a sales department, and for having the product manufactured, they need a raw material. So for that, they have a purchasing department, and in this fashion, they also have a HR department to take care of the resources that they hire. So they tell you the requirement that I want this particular application. So remember that uh, it it varies from company to company, like business to business, which application they want to implement. Let's say SAP ERP has all these applications which I have mentioned over here on the screen, but let's say it's a service company. It's not a production company which manufactures product. It's a service company. So that service company would not require this application to be implemented. All right. So they would not require this application at all. They would not even require the MM application wherein they had to procure some raw materials. So they will only go for FICO, SD, and HRM. So this is the way SAP is being implemented. SAP ERP is being implemented based upon the business requirement. So by now you are getting an idea of is, what SAP ERP is like, and how it is being implemented in a business process and what is the use of it. Okay, now going further, each of the transactions happening in each of the departments are recorded under each of the applications. So let's say you have sold something. Okay, let's say you have sold something, and the money that you get from the sales goes to the FI department. So what happens is that in the sales application, you create an invoice. This invoice is like a bill to the customer. So when you give this bill to the customer, he'll make a payment. So as soon as you make a bill in this sales section, sales application, it integrates with FI section, and it tells FI that this much is the amount that the customer is owing to our company, because this is related to finance, right? Receiving money is related to finance, and it should also intimate finance at the same time. So creating a bill in sales application would directly intimate FI, telling them that this much is the amount that the customer has to pay us. So as soon as the customer, so it's the duty of the sales department to follow up with the customer to make the payments. So once the sales rep gets the payment or a check from a customer, he'll intimate the FI team. So instead of intimating it personally, if the sales representative directly enters a payment receipt in the sale SD application, the FI application also gets updated with the same information. So the FI people come to know that the payment has been received, and they process the payment further. So this is how the integration happens. So creating a bill in SD would also intimate FI. Receiving the payment in SD would also intimate FI. This is how integration happens between different applications that are provided by the SAP ERP package. So not only this integration, But the exact purpose of implementing ERP by is taken because the senior management or the directors of the company want to know what position is the company in, whether it's earning profits, whether it's in loss, how each department is performing, or where are we lacking. So all this important decisions which the senior team, senior management, or the directors of the company take would be based upon the reports that are generated from SAP. So recording data daily would help SAP ERP generated database for all these applications that are there. So that database is used to generate. So SAP itself uh, would help the business in generating such reports so that they could take important decisions for the business, which would help the business grow further. So that is the important use of implementing SAP. So it's not just for recording the transactions that are happening in the company, rather the recorded transactions are converted into a meaningful data at a later point. Also, it's not just generating reports, but SAP is such that it integrates with other applications provided by SAP ERP. So it so it's like SAP ERP is behaving like uh, the different departments of a company coordinating together, which help the company run successfully. Okay, so if there was no coordination between this application and this application, there would have been a lot of issues. So hence SAP has been created. SAP ERP has been created in such a fashion that there is a real time there is a real time communication or integration between each of the applications, or if you say in terms of departments, so it will be like SAP is such a software which coordinates, which integrates with each of the departments and helps the company prosper with the reports that are generated out of it. So SAP is the name of the company which created SAP ERP, which is the most successful product of this company. They also have other products. So as you can see, there are other products from SAP like SAP CRM, SAP SRM. CRM is customer relationship management, SRM is supplier relationship management, etc. The name of the company is System Application and Products and Data Processing, that which means it uses the system applications and the various products to process the data so that it converts into useful reports. So is just an acronym. Name of the company as well as SAP. It is founded in 1972. The most widely popular version of SAP ERP is SAP R3. So you might have heard many times that what R3, what is R3? So R3 is nothing but a version of SAP ERP which was very widely popular, and most of the implementations happened during this period. So the major implementation that took place, SAP implementation that took place, were with this version of SAP ERP. Now the latest version of SAP is the ECC. So there was ECC 5.0, now we are using ECC 6.0. So ECC is nothing but the enterprise central component. So 6.00 is ECC 6.0 is the latest version of SAP which is being used right now, and the updates after this are in the form of enhancement packs. So it will be like ECC 6.0 Enhancement Pack 4, ECC 6.0 Enhancement Pack 7. So 7 would be the latest enhancement pack for ECC 6.0. So the updates are released in the form of enhancement packs, and now the version remains same, that's ECC 6.0, but there are enhancement packs that are being released by SAP if there is an update. Actually, this enhancement pack. So this is how the SAP R3 structure is. The base, the core is created using an ABAP using a programming language called as ABAP, and on this core we have different functional modules which are integrated with each other using the language that is ABAP. So everything has been coded already, and it's a package which is provided by SAP. It already has all this modules in it. You just need to configure it based upon the client's requirement. So this is the logistics area, this is the finance area. There are other modules which are also being used, like the quality management, plant maintenance, and there are industry specific solutions which have been released later on based upon the industry requirement, like the SAP oil and gas, SAP retail, SAP AFS, etc. So people, I will create another video. uh, as of now, let's cut this short and stop over here for the day. I'll create another video, which would be the introduction part 2, in which I'll explain what does an SAP consultant do, what exactly would be his job profile, and what is the standard sales cycle, and how do we replicate it into the SAP system, and then we'll enter into the system. So hopefully this is pretty much helpful for you people in understanding. If you have any doubts, or if you want me to add anything, if I'm missing anything, please comment out and add your comments below for this video. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.